Okay, so I'm here about to do my first individual interview. You want to introduce yourself here?
Alright, what's up guys? I'm Viktor Hadah.
Okay, so I brought in Victor here. A couple of reasons, a couple things I got to ask him about. So let's start with just the corp you're in. Negative feedback.
Negative Impact.
Negative
no,
impact.
no
Okay.
relation to the
Okay.
Negative
Yeah,
Feedback
yeah, yeah.
Alliance.
I know. I knew that, and I always do that. Sorry. You want to say anything about that?
Um, yeah, although I play Dust, Negative Impact is a Eve Corp. A lot of people know me on the Dust side, although I play Eve most of the time. That's why I am in this Corp. It's really, there's nothing all too special I can say about my Corp Dust side, as we don't really recruit or do anything. More of a solo player, goes around, just plays with friends. So I'm not really too interested in corporations. I just like the stability of my own corp. No drama, nothing too special. No time needed to be dedicated to it. So it's people. That's why I'm in it. People always ask me why I'm in a solo corp. It's kind of the reason. It's like I just don't want to deal with real corporations at the moment.
I knew I was gonna mess up the name. I forgot. Anyways, so you kind of brought up how you play Dust and Eve. You're one of the bigger names. If people want something done Dust side that can only be done through Eve, you want to talk about that a bit?
Right. I do a lot of stuff, both Dust and Eve. For more of the general stuff that people might be interested in, I sell Templar codes. I get these Templar codes from Eve people, Eve Alliance friends, friends I get for Eve, and then I sell them for Dust ISK. That's kind of how I started with my Eve Dust interaction. Though I started Eve about 1 year before Dust Beta opened. Before I was around July 2011. I got into Eve mainly because of Dust. Back when Dust was supposed to be this huge big deal, we're gonna have a lot of shiny shit. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a lot of toys to play with. When CCP was saying all of this stuff's gonna happen, majority of which didn't happen. Back then, I went from the game called Mag, which many people are familiar with. From there, me and my corporation were part of the first founding members of the Rise of Legion Alliance. Back when it wasn't even an alliance, back before Dust Beta was even started. So from there on, that's kind of how I got my start into Dust and into Eve. It was through Rise of Legion, it was through Mag, and it was through friends. And honestly, if I hadn't had friends playing to play Eve with, I wouldn't be playing that game right now because it is a complete bore to play solo.
Yeah.
But otherwise, every now and then, if you guys are in Eve, you might see me out in Molden Heath. Although I generally don't come out here too much, I do help with orbital support for friends now and then, but mainly if it's major wars, I'll come out here. But if it's just skirmishes, I'm generally involved in Amar faction warfare for my corporation, and I stay pretty far away from Molden Heath. I also do Eve Dust ISK exchange, as probably most of you know, so shameless advertising. If anybody needs that, feel free to message me. But yeah, I play both games pretty actively, although I play Eve mostly.
Okay. So Dust side a little bit here. Who are your, because you're in your own corp, so you're not technically aligned with any corps, but who would you say are your kind of affiliates? Like I see you ringing a lot, and it's normally on the other team from me. Like who are your Dust corp
Sadly,
affiliates?
yes. Although I'm not technically loyal to any corp, as in corp tags, I have been friends with KQ for about Kill 'em Quick for about 3 years now, ever since the start of the Rise of Legion Alliance, and I'm loyal to them, as in I'll play for them. I don't. I've been playing with them for a long time, so they're kind of the corp I am most associated with. Another corp I've been playing with for a very long time is Outer Haven. They're very good friends of mine, but yeah, those are my two. Again, I have friends everywhere, but those are the two corps I'm most loyal to at the moment.
Okay.
It's like,
So
yeah, we play against each other all the time when you were back in FA, but those sides were picked probably over a year ago, and I'm still here, still on this side. really don't like hopping around to everybody's side all the time.
Yeah, that's good. Loyalty's a good quality to have, definitely. So the big question here, the CBM. What can you say about the CBM?
What can I say? What can I say that won't get me in trouble with the rest of the people?
Alright, but really quick for the people listening, if you don't know what the CBM is, it's the Council of Billboard Management. I don't know too much about it, which is kind of why I'm asking you.
The CBM was kind of formed on one drunk Saturday night with just a bunch of people. So, a little backstory of how things started. If you're in PC, you might have seen some of my what are billboard corporations. I have one in Sokolda and one in Mildorf. It's Eve Dust ISK Exchange. It kind of started off as I was able to get a district from some friends, and it's like there's no real reason for my solo corp to own districts. And back when I got these districts, it's like nobody really wanted them, even less than right now. So it's like I got this district, and I'm like, well, might as well make some use out of it and turn it into a space billboard. So I made the Eve Dust ISK Exchange Corporation, the first official dust space billboard in Planetary Conquest. And from there on out, it was just kind of sitting around there. Got me some business, so that was the main point of it. I have people messaging me, asking me, hey, I saw your corporation on PC, and I was wondering how the Eve Dust Exchange works. That was the main point of it, and it followed through the way I expected it to and planned to. So eventually, one night, my corporation got attacked by the Forsaken Empire. And as I explained, I do have a few friends from different corporations. I've been playing for them, talking to them for a very long time. So what happened is I just got a bunch of ringers, some of my friends, into the match, and it did not end well for the Forsaken Empire. What they were trying to do was try and take the entire planet of Sokolda for them and their farming corporation. So we just got a bunch of people together into one super overpowered PC team and stomped them. So afterwards, we got invited, or we invited them into a private chat called the Council of Billboard Management. And from there on, you've probably seen in the forums, like, as soon as it started, you're all fat. And there's somebody with a alt account named the Forsaken Fitness Club. So we got in there, we were just kind of trolling them around. I mean, it was like almost midnight, Friday night. Everybody had been having a little bit to drink, just having some fun. And they go all insane about it, and from there on, it's kind of like we just formed the Council of Billboard Management for just to troll Forsaken Empire, and from there on, it kind of grew. At first, we didn't really do anything. It was just something to troll around with. We had districts. There was really no need for those districts. Nobody really wanted them. Again, Titans of Phoenix, Q's Town, with KQ. A lot of people are giving away districts all the time. It's like, there's districts that aren't being taken, so it's like, we just made a bunch of billboard corporations for shits and giggles, pretty much. Most of them are in Mildorf. All of them are in Mildorf, actually. You have, Deof's Magic Missile Ride, Eve Dust Exchange, the Council of Billboard Management, Ishus for Sucky Sucky for Hire, and the Fruit Loop Odysseys, and this district's worth more than your village, of course. Okay, so from there on, again, it was just made for kind of lulz, and then we kind of started to actually do stuff with it. At first, we just started attacking corporations to see what they're doing, and eventually the CBM started sniping districts that were being farmed from other corporations to kind of... The reason we started sniping these farming districts is because of people who own these farming districts didn't really PC. They were just there to farm. It's like, I'm a bit more. I believe I don't really care if you have farming districts, but if you have farming districts, you should play PC and should be able to defend them. People we saw, not gonna name names, were farming them, and that's all they were doing. They weren't actually contributing into PC. Kind of try to step in and change that. Right now, that corporation's actually in PC and playing PC, kind of like what it is intended to do. So CBM kind of is just a group of people. We're watching over Molten Heath. It's like we're not all powerful, although you see it on the forums all the time. But we do have a lot of contacts with a lot of corporations. Just we're looking over Molten Heath. We're not charging anybody for anything. We're not kicking anybody out. Again, a lot of the people in the CBM, the thing they care about is for more corporations to get into Molten Heath to try PC out, and we try to provide that the best we can, and corporations that are joining will try to make sure they're actually PC and they're not trying to just get in here to dick around and farm. Because you might see a few like one-man corporations just being locked all the time, but again, CBM's really been, I don't know, dicking around looking for people to fight. It's, I don't know. I can't really say any more than that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good chunk of information. One last question about it though. How drunk were you when you made the actual corp? Because you misspelled not one but two of the words, and I was really bummed by that.
Yeah. Again, you were in FA when that attack was launched, and it was launched around 2 a.m. So after 12 a.m., even sober, I don't have any responsibility for how I spell words. So just advice to anybody who's making corporations in the future: do it in the morning or not after like 2 a.m. when you're half passed out. Yeah, I didn't notice it until the very next day. I'm like, oh, that's embarrassing. Again, well, back then I was just made for lulz. It wasn't that big of a deal, so just kind of laughed it off and remade it. Lost like 50 mil for it, but whatever.
Whatever. Okay, yeah, it's probably about, oh, I thought kind of one more quote. What would you say you have a certain position in the CBN? Like, say, I mean, is there, are there kind of things like is there, say, like a secretary or like a president? Is that a thing, or is that not a thing?
Dareth is our official secretary. He controls all the forums. If you need to get in contact with CBM, you must go through forums. There is actually no other way. So that's so he is our secretary. He processes all that. All the other positions are actually secret and only known by the internal membership.
Okay. Alright, so I think that's all the questions I have for you. Any final things you want to say? Final shout-outs you want to give? Anything like that?
You want me to talk about this recent quotes, war unquotes?
Oh yeah, sure. If you want to talk about that.
Okay. As for Murphy's and Roman, they put up a very good fight. I wasn't all too involved. I helped out FC a few matches, but mostly it was Capac, although Roman loves to claim that it was the entirety of Molten Heath. I'll skip over that. I mean, I would like to give a shout out to Murphy's and all of Roman's, Roman and all of Murphy's, because they have been putting up a lot of good fights. I did see the thread they posted, Roman posted a few days ago, which seemed like Murphy's was out of PC. That really did sadden me. There really is no master plan about kicking out Roman from PC. The main thing was, I was listening to that KQ interview, and Q's Town compared Roman's tears to the official currency of Dust 514. I think I have a little bit of a better analogy, where that Roman's tears are more like drugs. It's more like a heroin. I've been addicted to it for months, almost a year probably now. I mean, really, right now, people don't really care for this. They don't care for PC, for districts. They care about the metagame. I think the metagame is very important within Dust, and that's how things work. So, Roman's tiers have been being farmed for probably half a year now by various corporations, starting out with Outer Haven, then moving primarily to KQ, and then kind of spreading out to everybody. Now, with Murphy's getting reduced down to 2 districts, I think that's a bit harsh. I mean, I'm not all for Care Bear PC, but at this point, Murphy's does deserve a bit more districts. The reason I feel like Shepard took so many districts is he might have... They just left... Capac just left Zoes. Shepard just barely got introduced to Roman tiers. Might have overdosed a little bit. Now we all have to go to Roman tier rehab. Because with 2 districts, there's not much to farm. Not much Roman tiers to farm. Although I do wish them a speed recovery, and I hope they get back into PC quickly.
Alright.
I believe that's it.
Yeah, I guess that's just about what
I
we do.
just wanted to keep it nice and short.
Yeah, it's not bad. We got about 16 minutes here. That should be pretty good. So yeah, thanks for being here, and yeah, that's my first individual interview, guys.